JFK, one of his most popular, speeches was, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Right. And that should be the heart and mind of most people. No one owes you anything in life. You owe the world, though. You owe this world something.
You exist.
You exist, so you owe it something.
There's a purpose for you.
I was trying to say something, but you started to say something. I said narcissist. It's also a little arrogant and the narcissism. I said narcissism.
Narcissism.
I'm hot.
We are in a narcissism.
Yeah, narcissism. That's a good word.
Oh my God.
We are in a narcissism.
Kara just accidentally made up a new word. It's called narcissism. We're a system of narcissists right now.
Yeah. An assembly line of narcissists.
Good job, Kara.
They're going right off the peninsula.
Oh!
I watch Piers Morgan. Is that's the English guy, right?
He's the English guy, yeah.
So he has a new show since he got kicked off or Good Morning England.
No, Britain.
Good Morning Britain. It's for the Sharon Osbourne, Meghan, whatever thing. Anyway, he has his own show, and I think it's called Uncensored. And he had a young lady that's a black woman that's she's black. She was in college, and he was just talking about the fact that why is this generation so obsessed with pronouns and safe places? Now, you can say what you want about that stuff. Piers Morgan, I mean, he's from a different generation from this girl, and he even said that. But if you could see the way
I never saw it.
If you could see the way this girl, it goes on for 17 minutes.
You're obviously used to just saying what you want to say, and no one's allowed to challenge you.
That is not what happens in universities. I'll tell you that for free.
Well, actually, we know that's what's happening in universities. And
when was the last time you went to university, Piers? When was the last time you were a student?
I was a student when I was 19.
Oh, how old are you? That was a long time ago. That is a long ass time ago.
You're being ageist.
Can I say that?
You're being ageist.
No, I'm just saying.
Wow.
That's a fact.
It
was a long time ago.
Triggered. Can you not? No, can you not?
You're the snowflake here.
No, can you not be ageist?
You're the snowflake here.
Can you not be ageist? Question.
Campuses are students'
Can I ask a question without you getting offended?
I'm not offended. Right, you can offend me if you're trying.
Okay, great. Great.
Go ahead.
I love that.
I'm a black woman in this country. You can't offend me.
I don't want to offend you. I want to give you my honest opinion.
Please
you give me yours. What is multiple truths? Because last time I checked, there's only one truth. Facts are facts. That's it.
That's not a very good philosophical outlook. Maybe you should go to uni. Maybe you should go to uni.
The arrogance, the rudeness, and the of just not respecting your elder. He is older than you. This man has seen more than you. He's done more than you. He's more successful than you. And he's over here giving you a chance to speak. He
asked a simple question, right?
He asked a simple question about colleges and why college kids become such snowflakes.
Oh, okay.
And he's mostly a liberal. You know what I mean? But he's just not.
He's older.
AOC liberal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just normal.
So he's like, I don't understand. Liberal. College used to be about a debate of ideas. So it was always both conservative. And liberal, and then many things in between. But it was always debates,
right? And
there was always this sort of,
back and forth,
being able to talk out things and, and
compromise,
and to think about, how you want this next generation to run the world, really. You know what I mean? But now it's all about gender ideology studies and safe spaces and black people wanting their own, what do you call it? Campuses because they're afraid of white people and they want to get.
I've heard about that.
So she was just before he even gave her the space to talk. He was about to. The camera was on her and she was just.
Oh, see that.
Oh. And already just this little attitude, and I thought, what is this? And then the way that she talked to a man I think he's in his 60s. I thought to myself, in my generation, I never talked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about my grandmother, or I'm talking about people who were older than me.
We weren't allowed to do it.
You didn't do that.
You didn't even attempt it because of the fear of simply questioning an adult.
The idea
it's
that you're already downing this man, and he's about to give you the floor. He's got a hugely popular show because he's famous. He's very famous. So he's letting this college girl have the floor on his show. And she's got this there's something's wrong with you. I think you're the snowflake. And just this attitude that's just awful.
You see?
You know what I mean?
Even when I'm talking to just like younger women, or just men too, but it's about women. It's like this I don't know if y'all understand. Like, it's just that attitude that some women have now, young women. It's just very sassy, and it's dismissive. They have this very like I'm better than you type. I'm like, what is this?
It's this idea that women, you know, I was just watching Ben Shapiro just talked about the the different waves of feminism, and he went back to the early 19th century or 1900s, and going up until now the fourth wave, and he's just like, and the first wave was mostly about women just wanting to vote and stuff like that. Yeah. He's like, and now it's turned into, hits the 60s, and it's turned into something that we're not even women anymore.
Right.
You can be a man. You know what I mean? Men can be house husbands. You know what I mean? He's just like,
the structure is all
and
changed.
so women have adopted this attitude that they think is masculine attitude, so they can be in the workforce, and they don't have any idea that you don't really have to act that way to get your point across.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You
can be kind.
You can be
elegant.
Right. You catch more bees with honey.
Yeah. Like, I don't.
In general.
The idea of it is just kind of like attitude. I don't like that. Like, our mom, like, she raised us with like, she always taught us manners. You know what I mean? Like, so that was always like at the forefront of everything, was how you behave, how you sit, how you eat. How you know what I mean? Like, my mother was always like big on that class. Right. I guess you can say. It makes me realize now, her doing that, how important just basic manners. So forget about education for a minute. Just basic manners is so important to how you appear in this world and how you're looked at. And I'm not seeing basic manners anymore.
So Pierce had a lot of comments under that. I was really interested in reading his. He had lots. And every last comment was people saying, this is horrible. This girl, this young lady, is just, she painted herself as a victim. He's just like, I'm not strong, being black in this country. It's like, this is sort of nasty attitude. And he was like, why are you so angry?
No one's asking you to be like on generation.
But it's like, why are you so angry?
They're angry.
You guys are really revealing yourself. Your generation are really revealing yourself as just unhinged. You know what I mean?
But I find that young people are angry. Have you noticed that? Like, I feel like they have this.
They're angry at a time when they're the most free.
I know.
I watched Uncle Tom again last night because it was on YouTube for free, and I watched from beginning to end, and just the amount of a lot of what they were saying about the youth. They said this youth is just the older people talking. Larry Elder, and they're just like the youth. Of today, they're so lucky because they have so much that they can do, because let's keep it real, the people that came before us, especially black people, they did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, we're just
let's stop pretending like we're such victims. I mean, they really did the heavy lifting for us. And to me, to still be angry and frustrated and still sort of acting as though you're oppressed just so you don't have to get out there and become something. Because that's what you're really afraid of. You're really afraid of having to have responsibility and having to go out there and be somebody. Because it is hard to be an adult. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's hard to have to deal with bills and plan out your life, and you make mistakes on the way. And a lot of people just don't want the responsibility. Yeah. This is why abortion and weed is so popular in the liberal platform. Yeah. They love to be sedated, and they love getting rid of kids. Because to me that is a nutshell of being what responsibility is. Trying to let go of any kind of responsibility that comes to you. I don't want to be a mother. I just want to sleep around. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want any of that. I want to smoke weed. We don't want to work. This is another thing. I don't want to work 5 days a week. We want to work 3 days a week. You don't want to do anything. My mother is 64 years old. She just went out for a job that she was. My mother just at 64 went out for a new job. She said, "I want a new job." You know what she did? She went out and was compared to women way younger than her. She got the job.
Remember, I was reading this a long time ago on Instagram. There was like this trend going around for a minute where people were quitting their jobs that they've had. I guess they've had like a year or something. Anyways, and they were making like little videos and kind of like flaunting and dancing. It's my last day at work, working here because I don't need to put up with this, blah, 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 blah. So now in the context of like, okay, if you don't want your job and that job is treating you bad, then yeah, I'm agreeing with you. But it was interesting because a lot of people, what they were doing, especially it was a nurse thing, nurses, or I guess people in the medical field, but mostly nurses, a lot of them are getting the nursing job, going through nursing school, getting the job, and a lot of them are quitting because it's extremely difficult, right? The job is very, very hard, and I can imagine that it is, right? And I guess they're understaffed, and it's just a lot of components that go to it. Anyways, there was a girl who did a video. She was flaunting that I just got out of school, got my job, and she dances off and says, I'm leaving because I don't need to be working this hard for this amount of money. I could be doing something else, and I shouldn't be doing Instagram videos now, right? So somebody in the comments said, this is really sad to see. It was a nurse. A lot of nurses. So it's really sad to see that the younger generation now, this girl's very young, she's in her early 20s, they're like, it's really sad to see young people not want to work hard anymore. When you first become a nurse, and I'm not a nurse, I know a lot of them, but when you first become a nurse, it is extremely stressful, hard, long hours. You're dealing with a lot of different types of people, right? A lot of illnesses, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But more than anything, your work ethic is going to have to come in play immediately when you have a job like that, really in any situation. But and they were like, there's a lot of young people were quitting because it was getting hard. Mm-hmm. And so, and a lot of people were saying, this is not a good trait of the youth right now. It's like they don't want to work hard. We see it every day, even where we work. Like there's youth that just do not want to work.
Yeah, I call this the love yourself generation, and we misinterpret love yourself.
Yeah.
See, because we think love yourself is being lazy, doing whatever you want to do, and not having discipline. Yeah. Discipline frees you. Mm-hmm. It frees you because it gets shit done. Yeah. You know what I mean? It makes you not miss out on your opportunities. It makes you do stuff just simply because you need to get it done, and not because you feel like doing it. Because you're not going to feel like doing a lot of stuff, but you got to do it. You know what I mean? But people thought that a lot of young people, they think that love yourself is being selfish.
And it's just,
you know what I mean? This is why a lot of young people that get married can't stay married, because they think that their spouse is supposed to cater to them and to fulfill their every need. And if you
it's
don't
all
do
about
it,
me,
right?
Yeah, me.
You know what I mean? And we're training children to think that the world owes them something. JFK, one of his most popular, speeches was, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Right. And that should be the heart and mind of most people. No one owes you anything in life. You owe the world, though. Yeah. You owe this world something. You exist. So you owe it something.
There's a purpose for you. And so when you walk around saying that you don't want to, I don't want to work, I want to just sit back and just do whatever. Everybody has different purposes in life they want, but it's not even that. It's you just see the work ethic. So whatever you do in life, your work ethic is always going to come into play. So it doesn't really matter. Right. It doesn't. So it doesn't matter what type of job you have or career or whatever it is, or even how you parent. These are all work ethic.
I'm on a show right now. Danielle and I have been doing a show for almost 3 years. Yeah. Okay, we've just got a little over 1,000 subscribers, and we're happy about that. Yeah, that's fine. I actually love the small group, until I let it go where it needs to go. Yeah. But we work hard on it. And we also have to work. Our jobs. And I also have to work out. Yeah. And I also have to pay bills. And I also have to work on my love life. And I also have, you know what I mean? You have to multitask in life. But if you want anything that matters in life, you got to work for it. You do. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think that if I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it, then I shouldn't do it. And that's self-love. Right. You know what I mean? No, it's not. It's a waste of your life.
It's so uninspiring, and it's also very unattractive. When you see, to me, I think it's so unattractive when I see a young lady or a young man be so lazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it just makes the hairs on my neck stand up like, ugh. I don't like that. Kara got me this for my birthday. I love Tybo, the old Tybo thing. Okay, I love that. But most of the reason why I like Tybo is because I like Billy Blanks, because the way that he thinks is, he has that martial. You know how he has that kind of expanded thought process. Yeah, like he thinks on a different wavelength. Yeah, and he brings that kind of into it. But hearing when he talks, like just outside of Tybo, it's like he talks about work ethic and how important it is. If you want something, you really have to work hard at it. Okay, sometimes I may talk about some jobs are not physically hard, but you still have to work hard no matter what it is. It just means you have to put your mind to doing things. And I'm seeing young people just be mindless and just kind of like lounge around, and I don't need to do this, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to do a TikTok video, and I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to go viral. It's like,
They see the outcome success. So a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people who are millionaires and or just really successful people, they didn't see profits for 3-4 years.
Most very wealthy people have not.
And so you can't even. You were talking about the girl that wanted to leave her job.
The nurse.
The nurse, and she didn't even spend a year.
No, she was in there for 8 months,
and she's already ready to throw in the towel. It's just like. Look,
all that money.
It's like it was like Joe Rogan.
I'm sorry, real quick. Her parents' money on nursing school. Go ahead.
Right, but even Joe Rogan was saying about the metaverse. He said the thing I don't like about this is that people are going to put their goggles on and think they don't have to work for the life that they're visually seeing, and they're not going to want to work out. He's like, because this is my real life.
Right.
I don't want my life to be the metaverse. Right. I want my life to be. I want that to be my real life. You know what I mean?
Which is why we don't do a whole lot of we don't do a whole lot of Instagrams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do.
We don't dance on Instagram.
I think it's really sad. I worry about the future because I think like these people, these kids are going to be the next senators, the next presidents, the next attorneys, the next Supreme Court justice, the next and the military generals. These are going to be the next version the next people who are going to run this world. I think that what hurt us and what helps us, but what actually hurt us the most was technology.
Yeah, technology really messed us up.
Technology took us away from our responsibility
and see,
to ourselves.
It's such a weird, it's a weird thing though, because while I acknowledge the benefits of technology, I mean, we couldn't be talking to you guys, right? Doing this, but while I acknowledge the benefits of technology, I think that we have become so connected and become disconnected, and now we've also become lazy because things are at our fingertips and you just press the button. You don't really have to go shopping anymore. You don't really have to do anything. You don't have to move. You don't have to move.
I'm guilty. How many people know phone numbers without their phone? Remember? I knew when I was younger, and it's also dangerous because we don't use our brain anymore. We let a computer use our brain, and then we don't have to remember anything, and then we're in a situation where the bottom falls out. And none of us can remember anything. They were also slow.
That phone thing is trippy because when I realized the crossover to where I'd stop remembering numbers. So like smartphones was the beginning. Smartphones, but even when smartphones first started, we didn't get it till later. Kara and Kara and I always way late when people. I mean, like. Remember we got the what's that, BlackBerry? It's called BlackBerry?
BlackBerry.
Yeah, we got that way after everybody already had it. It was already been done, and we thought we got something new. We didn't. But whatever. But it's like the beginning of like smartphones and like the iPhone and all that stuff. It was like we just put in a name now, and I'm like, God, I don't even remember your number. Like, what is your number? And then it made me think when I was a child. I used to remember all numbers that were given to me.
My mother's, my friends.
It was in my mind. I knew it, and now I'm like, wow, it's crossed over to where I don't even know numbers anymore. Like, that is not good. But you see how that was a grooming.
I'm fine without technology, really. I could get rid of a lot of stuff, and it wouldn't really affect me at all. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's really healthy to get too used to it anyway. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, somebody's flipping the switch, and they can turn it off. Yeah. And then we'd all be at the mercy.
Well, the whole idea of even social media, you almost can't. Humans have a need to compare just by nature. It's everybody. So if you say you're not, you do. So, but when you are overstimulated with something like social media, where people are showing just the highlight reels of their life, especially if you're not in a good frame of mind, your natural instinct is going to be to try to compare yourself to that person. And when you realize you don't live up to what that person is doing with their life, what you think that it's like it's a backfires. You have it depresses you. All week I've been thinking about the way the youth is when it comes to whether disrespecting, and then fast forward to the laziness and work ethic. It's like
and the entitlement and the
I'm telling you, y'all, I was at work just sitting back, just looking at all this chaos. I was just looking at these young people just be. But I know they can be great, by the way, because they're young. They have time on their side, right? So they're young, but it's like just watching them not take advantage of that and just have poor manners, and just that I think that it just really bothers me. It does. I checked in somebody the other day, a woman the other day, and she, while I was getting her process and the computer ready, she was eating fried chicken. She was eating fried chicken at the front desk right in front of me. And she was just eating it. She had to be like in her 20s, and she would just eat her fried chicken. Then I had to have her sign her thing, and she's licking her fingers, and she's like taking the pen, and it was just, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the basic manners that are gone. They're gone. There's like we're in a class. The class is just, in elegance, has just like left the building, which is why people get so shocked when they see pictures from the 1940s and 50s, how the way women dressed and men dressed. The way they behaved, they take their hat off and a woman comes in the room. You know, it's just so shocking that that was this country, and that was not too long ago. It was not too long ago. It's not like that was hundreds of years ago. That was like in the 50s. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't that long ago, and we transformed from that all the way to where we're at now, where people are eating chicken in front of you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just very shocking to me. I just look back, sometimes I just people watch, and I look at people, and I'm just like, am I judging? Probably. I can admit that, but
I don't have a problem with judgment.
But I
think judgment, everybody judges. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong. You have to use your judgment.
Right, especially
on things. If you don't use your judgment on things, you're just kind of stupid.
But I think maybe if we're better examples, then maybe that will change some things. But we're so far off the rails. I feel like it's just. Again, I always say this, but I think it's going to take some extreme conservatism. Not talking about politics, but talking about literal being conservative.
I mean, JFK was a liberal, a conservative liberal. But you know what, though? If JFK was alive, and along with Martin Luther King, they'd all be Republicans, too. Yeah. The way, because they were big Second Amendment people, and you know what I mean. So they would all be considered Republicans today. Yeah. Simply by the conservative way of family structure, because all of those people, even Malcolm X, believed in the nuclear family. They believed in a religion, because Malcolm X was Muslim. So it's just like they all believed in a religion. They all believed in working hard for your money, like JFK said. I'll ask what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was the conversation of that time, and and people worked hard. The country, our country has its ups and downs all the time. Yeah. But definitely socially,
we weren't like this.
And Ali Stuckey, she wrote a quote the other day that said, "A man that has nothing to do and has nothing to be responsible for is a depressed man. No wonder." No wonder young people 18 to 25 are committing suicide at a new record. Yeah. They have no place. They don't know where they belong anymore. Right. The world has not carved out anything for young men. They carved out everything for women. Yeah. They've completely left behind a generation of men who are going to grow up dependent on women.
It's true.
And that is a sad thing, because I don't know how our country can stand without strong men. I don't know how our military is going to stand without strong men. We can't have a bunch of women battling other countries that have men. Yeah. Because China's not doing it. The country we're in competition. You know what I mean? Russia's not. You know what I mean? So the thing is, it's just like I don't know. I just don't know how, if we don't strengthen the men in this country, and pretty soon it won't be just black men or a few Hispanic. It's going to be white men too, because I can see them already starting to soften up. You know what I mean? I just don't understand how a nation can survive without the backbone of America, and that would be men to me.
To me too, that reflects leadership. So, but yeah.
And I'm afraid of that. I don't like women's empowerment. I'm afraid of what women can't do. We're not the same.
Right. Yeah, the men being leaders, that will change the country, really. That's going to put the country in the right direction. But when you let kids and women overpower you, it's a little weird. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work out. Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think about these topics this week. We would love to hear your thoughts on that. Are kids out of control?
Is that it for America? I love
R.I.P.
America. Said on just really funny, like on Maude, what's his name, the next door neighbor, the Republican. Yeah. And they were talking about, swinging, and they were just like, some kid picked up a book, and she said, Mommy, do you and Daddy do switchies? And then they didn't really care, Maude and her daughter, and he said, so that's it for America.
That's it.
He's just like,
we're swinging now?
Teaching sex in the schools. He's like, and now you just got nudity on the.
I guess.
So let's
wash our hands of it. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and that's it. Bye.